What is going on today, guys? Tomcat here, and today I'm back in Forza Horizon 2 for a little bit of an introduction to drifting. Now, I've been getting a lot of comments and requests lately from people that are really new to the Forza franchise that have just gotten Forza Horizon 2 and are very interested in learning actually how to get a car sideways. Now, the biggest thing about it is that you don't need massive horsepower to start. Right here we have a stock Silvia Club K's S13, and I'm going to be showing you guys how... Really? Go away. Go away, GPS person. I'm going to be showing you guys how you guys can practice a little bit and really kind of introduce yourself to the feel of actually getting a car sideways in Forza Horizon 2. Now, the first thing you want to do is make sure you have traction control and stability control off. You can leave ABS on or off. It's your personal preference on that one. And I also do recommend using manual with clutch, although you can do it with regular manual. I, again, highly recommend using manual with clutch because of the clutch kick technique that we'll get into later, and also just being able to control the car a little bit more. Now, the first thing that you guys are going to focus on is, aside from just doing things like this, aside from just doing things like that, you guys are going to focus on specifically 90-degree turns. Now, why 90-degree turns? Well, hi, Wyra. But why 90-degree turns? Well, 90-degree turns are a very simple way to actually teach people how to actually catch a car that's sliding. Now, I recommend starting out in second gear, and you can really come to any place within the like any area within Nice, and what you're going to want to do is aim for a corner in second gear. The process kind of goes like this. Wow, I'd be able to show you if that Ford Focus wasn't in the way. But no, I mean, we're only going like 40 miles an hour. Flick the car one way, flick it back the other way. Back end will come around a little bit, and you catch it. Now, that is basically the most basic way to get started. And then from there, you just basically build it up. So if that was your first attempt, then your next attempt, you get it out a little bit more. And then in your next attempt, you slide it out a little bit more, and you start to get a little bit more comfortable with it. Now, once you start to get accustomed to that, the biggest thing that you want to focus on is, well, let me back up a little bit. The first thing that's going to happen is your first attempt is probably going to look something like this. And that, trust me, that's fine. That's how my first few hundred attempts looked. When I was learning how to drift back in Forza 3, I think it was? It's a long time ago. But anyway, that's how everybody's first attempts look. Again, like I said, that's how my first few hundred attempts looked. But, so there's no reason to get discouraged. But the biggest thing you want to do is come to an area like this and start to get comfortable with just getting the back end out just a tiny little bit. And if it's just that, like if it's just a tiny little flick of the car, then that's fine. That's all you need to do. And another thing that can really help you is to just get to one side of the street, build the revs up, drop the clutch, turn hard, and then catch the car using the throttle and the steering, and avoid Mercedes A-classes. And from there, just try to translate that into an actual corner. Now, in that corner, I used the clutch and the e-brake to actually initiate the slide. Now, how that works is a little bit more... On the advanced side, it's a little bit more tricky, but once you get the basis, you'll be pretty much good to go with it. Now, approaching in second gear, turn in... Oh, God, LFA. God, what is with all the AI traffic around here? Anyway, approaching a corner, turn in, pull the e-brake and the clutch at the same time, then rev up, release the e-brake and the clutch, and you basically have just pulled off a little bit of a kind of a miniature drift, which turns into... These drifts basically get bigger and bigger the more horsepower you add to the car, or... the more speed you carry into a corner. It really has so many different variables that you just kind of get accustomed to the feel of it. Now, the biggest thing also is, well, not the biggest thing, but one of the main things is your choice of car. Now, the reason why I am demonstrating this with the Silvia S13 in stock form is because of the fact that a lot of people think that they need to know how to make some kind of really advanced tune, or they need to know how to build a car, or what setup to use, before they can even consider learning how to... Oh my God, that Audi just changed color. What the hell? You guys had to have seen that. That's ridiculous. Damn. Didn't know Plasti Dip existed in Forza Horizon. But basically, the biggest thing about it is, or one of the biggest things, is the fact that you don't need a ton of power, nor do you need a tune to learn how to just learn the basics of catching a car in a slide. Now, as you get a little bit more advanced, you're going to want more power. You're going to want a more precise tune. You're going to want a more precise setup. But that's something that you really learn about, kind of about yourself and about your personal style as you go. And then, like I said, as you go, the slides get longer and longer, and you basically want to pick a section like this and just run it over and over and over and over again. And by doing that, especially a section like this where you have to go one way and then back the other way, that gets you used to going in different directions, which means that you're not going to be really one-sided when you start learning how to drift. Now, when I learned how to drift, I just did one corner over and over and over and over, and I ended up being extremely one-sided because I was only drifting to I think I was only drifting to, like, the right. And that just kind of messed me up, and I had to relearn everything on the left, which is not fun. It's not fun at all. But once you start to get comfortable with these corners, try to mix them together and try to carry your speed from one to the other if you've got enough speed to do it. I didn't really have enough speed to do it that time around. I'll try and do it this time, as long as traffic doesn't get in the way. I'll turn around and pick up a little bit of speed. And kick the rear end out. Back the other way. Not bad for an S13 on stock power. I'm going to try and actually get a little bit more speed coming from this direction and run it again. Really? Come on. And this is really how you want to practice it, guys. You just really want to keep running that same section over and over and over. And once you get that transition, that's like well, that was kind of iffy, but getting a transition is one of the most, I guess you'd say one of the biggest accomplishments when you're really learning, because then you start to feel like your drifts are becoming fluid. And once they become fluid, then you get a lot more confident and you get a lot more, oh, and that's what you don't do. That's what you don't do, is enter a corner way too hot and basically hold on to the e-brake a little bit too long. That's what happens when you get a little bit overconfident and stop paying attention to what you're doing. So that's what happens when you do that, pretty much. But another thing you can do is, say you're in first gear, shift it to second, and pop the clutch out, and the rear end will be out immediately. But that's basically just a clutch kick with a shift in the middle of it. So, I mean, you can think of it however you want. But this is not like I said, it's not an advanced tutorial. It's more of kind of just tips as far as practice goes for anybody that's really learning. And again, the nice thing about these Sylvia S13s is that they're really cheap in games. You can pick them up for, like, I don't even know, it's like a few thousand credits, not even like 10,000 credits, I don't think. So you can get these for really cheap in-game, so even if you're just starting out, you should have enough cash for one of these. And it's a really great way to start, especially if you've done a little bit in maybe the Forza Motorsport games. If you've done a little bit in the Motorsport games, you'll be fine here because it's actually a little bit easier than the Motorsport games as far as drifting goes. But the biggest thing I can say is just to keep practicing and don't get discouraged. Really, don't get discouraged. You may spin out a billion times. Trust me, I did. I still do. You guys saw earlier in the video. See, that's why I choose not to edit things like that out. Some people do, but I choose not to edit those things out. I choose to leave those things in because everybody will spin out from time to time. Even though it doesn't matter how good you are, you're gonna make mistakes, and that's fine. Mistakes are all part of the learning process when it comes to learning how to do this stuff. And the biggest thing I can just say to you guys is keep practicing and just really try it. Just take these things and just try it. And if you don't get it the first time, just keep trying, and then you'll get that feel. And once you get that feel, it'll become a lot easier and actually a lot more fun. But if you guys enjoyed this little bit of an introduction to drifting kind of for beginners, then don't forget to leave me a like. Tell me in the comment section down below what you guys thought of it. And if you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe for more. And I will see you guys in the next one. Talk to you guys later.